I just didn't think it would happen this fast.
Oh, I thought you'd be pleased.
I am. I'm very excited. Thank you.
Sharon Stone is a brilliant Hollywood actress who has played more than 100 roles in many movies and won dozens of prestigious awards. Typically, she gets the roles of femme fatale because her arsenal of platinum curls, sparkling blue eyes, and a deep voice drives men crazy. We have prepared this video to get you more familiar with one of the most seductive and talented women of our time. Sharon Stone, how the Basic Instinct star lives and how much she earns. Sharon Von Stone was born on March 10, 1958 in the small American town of Meadville on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. The family of worker Joseph and his wife Dorothy, who took any job, was already raising an older brother, Michael, and later had two more children, Patrick and Kelly. From a very young age, Sharon surprised her parents with her rapid development and intelligence. She started talking before her first birthday, began reading at 4, and at 5, she went straight to 2nd grade. Because of her early mental development, Sharon had a withdrawn personality, didn't play with dolls, and almost didn't communicate with peers, preferring to spend her leisure time reading books. The girl opened up only to her closest circle. She set up a home theater in her father's garage in which her brothers and sister performed. When she was 6 years old, she confidently stated that she had chosen acting as a profession. Despite the fact that during her school years, the girl was already marked by an extremely high IQ and aptitude for the exact sciences, her parents decided not to put pressure on their daughter, allowing her to choose her own path. Although they really wanted her to become a chemist or a lawyer, they considered freedom of choice a priority. Speaking about the level of Sharon Stone's intelligence, we can't help but note the fact that her IQ score is 154, while the average is 100. Drawing an analogy with other people with high IQ scores, she can be put up on a par with Albert Einstein and Paul Allen. At an early age, Sharon and her sister experienced abuse at the hands of their maternal grandfather. He was a cruel man who abused his daughter and then his granddaughters. The actress reconstructed her memories of those tragic events for many years with the help of psychotherapy, and her mother, Dorothy, told her part of the story only when Sharon began writing her autobiography. After graduating from high school in 1975, Sharon went to Penn West Edinburgh, having received a grant to study, and in her spare time worked as a cashier in McDonald's. At that time, the future diva could not be called a beauty. A plain-looking little girl of average height with a gnarly stature and a pair of thick lenses in glasses half the face. In her freshman year, she seriously decided to do something about herself. After experimenting with hair color and style, she settled on the image of a seductive blonde. After all, her ideal was always Marilyn Monroe, not without reason. Thus, unexpectedly, the ugly duckling Sharon turned into a gorgeous white swan and immediately won the title of local beauty queen. Then she went to the Miss Pennsylvania pageant, and although she didn't get the crown, she was compensated with some interesting acquaintances and some very sound advice. For example, at one of the events, 17-year-old Sharon met the great Muhammad Ali, who predicted her bright future. The girl took advantage of one of her new acquaintances by sending her data to a modeling agency and received an offer from Ford Models. After signing a contract, she dropped out of school and her hated job at the local McDonald's and headed to New York. In fairness, it should be noted that as time passed, she did get her degree. It was done when she was 58 years old. In the mid-70s, fate took her to Paris and Milan, and although she was not quite fit for the podium because of her small stature, Sharon was actively shooting for magazines and advertising. However, Ms. Stone soon became bored with the career of a model, and she remembered her long-held dream of becoming an actress. She again came to New York, and in 1980, she made her debut in Woody Allen's film Stardust Memories. Next was the horror film Deadly Blessing, where Sharon played one of the roles. Contrary to expectations, an immediate breakthrough did not happen, and the novice actress only got a series of cameo roles in average films. Notable among the works of the time are the TV series Magnum P.I. and Remington Steele, the thriller Calendar Girl Murders, and the comedy drama Irreconcilable Differences. While working on the drama The Vegas Strip War, Stone met her future husband, producer Michael Greenberg, whom she married in 1984. However, the marriage did not work out well. The couple separated after 5 years, and in 1990, the divorce was made official. In 1985, Sharon starred in the TV series T.J. Hooker and the action-adventure film King Solomon's Mines. The late 80s brought her participation in the projects Alan Quatermain and the Lost City of Gold, Cold Steel, Police Academy 4, Above the Law, Action Jackson, Tears in the Rain, War and Remembrance, Beyond the Stars, and the drama Blood and Sand. Then the actress got ridiculously lucky when she was approved for the role of the wife of the main character played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Total Recall.
You were the best assignment I ever had. Really.
I'm honored.
You sure you don't want to? Just for old time's sake?
The film was a huge success with the audience, earned $260 million at the box office, and won an Oscar in the visual effects category. The first thing Sharon did after the release of the film was to star in a candid photo shoot for Playboy magazine. A comment on the cover read, "She's got Hollywood breathing heavy." This referred not only to her dizzying beauty, but also to her astonishing work ethic. The following year, she starred in He Said, She Said, Year of the Gun, Diary of a Hitman, Where Sleeping Dogs Lie, and the psychological thriller Scissors. Subsequently, Sharon landed on real fame. Director Paul Verhoeven, who knew the actress from filming Total Recall, asked her to audition for the movie Basic Instinct. It must be said that the search for the female protagonist was a real pain in the ass for both Paul and the main actor, Michael Douglas. Contenders for the role of Catherine were Julia Roberts, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Gina Davis, and they all turned it down because of the abundance and explicitness of erotic scenes. Douglas himself didn't see anyone fit for the role except for the Frenchwoman Isabelle Adjani, but she also gave up to the ludicrous script. Then Verhoeven came to Douglas with the proposal to try Stone. The actor was not happy because he didn't want to star in racy scenes with an amateur actress as she seemed to him. However, there was nothing else to do and the audition took place. An astonished Michael told the director that the film is sure to succeed. He saw it in the eyes of the young actress. The cinema giant was not mistaken. With a budget of $49 million, the film grossed $350 million at the box office, becoming one of the most successful films of 1992 and forever inscribed itself in the list of masterpieces of Hollywood cinema.
Mr. Boz, Miss Trammell.
I'd have to be pretty stupid to write a book about killing and then kill somebody the way I described it in my book. I'd be announcing myself as the killer.
Stone received a fee of $500,000 for her work in the film and reprised her character from Basic Instinct in the comedy action film Last Action Hero. By the way, her famous white dress is still in the closet as Sharon was allowed to take her favorite costumes after the shooting. Sharon has now turned into a true star and began to receive packs of offers. She could even freely choose which film to star in. In 1993, the erotic detective movie Sliver was released, which was based on a novel by acclaimed novelist Ira Levin and won the hearts of millions.
I'm 35, I'm not 25. I don't need a date, I need a relationship. Preferably one where something happens this time.
Although critics were not thrilled with Stone's work, and in contrast to her scene partner William Baldwin, she did not receive an MTV award. She was entrusted to host the Oscars ceremony. Sharon's income was also more substantial, amounting to $2.5 million. The film also gave Sharon a new relationship, which alas was not ideal. Producer William MacDonald left his wife for the sake of the actress, after which they got engaged. A year later, however, a breakup followed and Sharon dove into another fleeting romance with assistant director Bob Wagner. It should be noted that Sharon's life had a lot of such affairs and romances, including with Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Jack Nicholson. Meanwhile, the new movie Intersection was released, which starred Sharon along with Richard Gere and The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone, bringing her a total of $10 million. The latter, however, brought not only hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office, but also a Golden Raspberry Award for the worst acting duo. However, a year later, the ambitious Sharon has been redeemed by a nomination for the prestigious Saturn Award for her role as a gunwoman in the movie The Quick and the Dead. In the same year, the third film in Martin Scorsese's trilogy Casino saw the screen. Her partners on the set once again were the most venerable Hollywood maestros, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci.
I should have never married him. He's a Gemini, a triple Gemini, duality. Gemini's the snake, you can't trust the snake.
Sharon dazzled with her acting talent, adding her brand erotic gusto to the narrative, which earned her a Golden Globe Award and a nomination for the Oscars, as well as a $2 million fee. Over the next 3 years, several films involving Stone were released: the cartoon Ants, the film Last Dance, Sphere, Gloria, Diabolique, and The Mighty.
What does the fair Guinevere have for dessert?
Well, there's chocolate pudding if Merlin agrees to do the dishes.
Dishes?
Dishes?
But knights don't do dishes.
In this castle they do.
On February 14, 1998, 40-year-old Sharon Stone married journalist Phil Bronstein, and 2 years later, they adopted a boy named Rowan, who was given the last name of her husband. The following year, Sharon delighted fans with a great performance in the films The Muse and Simpatico. And then there was a comedy drama, Beautiful Joe, a black comedy, Picking Up the Pieces, and the second part of the TV movie, If These Walls Could Talk.
Who'd have thunk I'd be so infertile? My mom has 7 kids.
7 kids?
Yeah, for crying out loud, you'd think I could have one, right?
Yeah, but today's the day. I can feel it.
I just feel like such a...
In 2001, Sharon's health deteriorated sharply. She suffered a massive stroke and a 9-day brain hemorrhage. Sharon herself believes that the disease was hereditary. Her mother and grandmother also suffered from this disease. The woman went to the doctor only a few days later, and only after the headaches became unbearable. Subsequently, in interviews, she often gave advice to everyone with severe headaches not to drag out going to a specialist. She has also been an active participant in various health events ever since, particularly focusing on the prevention of brain diseases. Rehabilitation time was an ordeal for the actress. Not only did she lose the job she loved and her ability to move and speak, but also her family. Sharon's husband left her and took her to court to gain custody of her adopted child. Her familiar circle turned their backs on her, and even the judges involved in her case treated her terribly. Still, the world is no good without good people. The French billionaire and owner of Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy came to her aid, offering Stone a contract with the Dior fashion house, which became a true salvation and a stimulus for her life. It took Sharon a full 7 years to finally come to her senses. To pay for the treatment, she had to mortgage her house. After the divorce, Stone adopted 2 more children, sons Laird and Quinn, who bear her last name. She doesn't like publicity in this aspect of her life, as she tries not to appear with her children in public and doesn't post photos of them on social networks. In 2003, Sharon appeared in the TV series The Practice and the film Cold Creek Manor, and then enriched her filmography with the thriller A Different Loyalty, the comedy Jiminy Glick in La La Wood, and the sci-fi thriller Catwoman with Halle Berry.
I was everything they wanted me to be. I was never more beautiful, never more powerful. And then I turned 40, and they threw me away.
Over the next few years, the actress was cast in such films as Broken Flowers, which won the Palme d'Or Grand Prix at Cannes, Alpha Dog, Bobby, If I Had Known I Was a Genius, When a Man Falls in the Forest, The Year of Getting to Know Us, $5 a Day, and Basic Instinct 2. Sharon received more than $13 million for the unsuccessful sequel to the cult-famous thriller. In addition to filming, Sharon is actively engaged in philanthropy. One day during the World Economic Forum in Davos, she interrupted the president of Tanzania's speech, who was telling delegates about the terrible situation of Tanzanian children dying en masse from malaria due to a lack of mosquito nets. Stone said emphatically that she was willing to donate $10,000 immediately, after which within minutes she was joined by dozens of people who raised a total of $1 million. However, such impulsiveness sometimes played a cruel joke on her, provoking scandals. For example, in 2008, she sharply opined that the earthquake in China's Sichuan province was karmic punishment for China's policy toward Tibet. Such rhetoric against the country's leadership caused an immediate and strong reaction, as a result of which the owner of a large Chinese chain of movie theaters announced that none of the films starring Stone will be shown in their cinemas. In addition, the portrait of the actress disappeared from the windows of Chinese Dior stores. Consequently, Stone apologized to China via her representative, but the residue remained, so to speak. In the same year, the actress signed a contract with the Damiani Jewelry House. Stone donated part of her royalties to the countries where diamonds are mined, and her money was spent on purifying drinking water. The actress's filmography continued to expand with Streets of Blood, Largo Winch 2, Border Run, Lovelace, God's Behaving Badly, and Fading Gigolo. In 2013, the movie star played in the comedy Love in Vegas, produced by the current president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky.
Что это за клоун? Твою мать, где Олег? Мне какого-то сумасшедшего подставили.
This was followed by the films A Golden Boy, In the Line of Fire, and the 2015 television series Agent X, in which Sharon was given not only the main role, but also the position of executive producer.
One girl's life is at stake. And I have no idea what I'm doing.
Currently, she has 17 films under her belt and owns a production company called Chaos, which makes documentaries. Sharon has a great respect for this genre, believing that it is what helps people develop and avoid many problems. Also in 2015, the actress became the face of the Airfield clothing brand, and in the following years, she appeared in the films Mothers and Daughters, Running Wild, All I Wish, The Disaster Artist, The Laundromat, Here Today, series Mosaic, Ratched, and The New Pope.
Can't the Bible be upgraded?
Alas, the Bible is not an iPhone.
Again, what a shame.
In the latter, Stone appeared as herself in a brief but memorable scene. In the same year, viewers saw Sharon in the second season of the series The Flight Attendant, and in February 2023, the premiere of the melodrama What About Love, featuring her. Sharon Stone can safely be called a self-sufficient and rich lady, as her fortune is $60 million. Her assets include an impressive array of properties, which includes a huge house in Los Angeles, which some experts call the epitome of luxury. Bought in 1993 for $3 million, it has undergone several changes until finally Sharon made it to her liking. There's a practical gray tile kitchen, a stove with a large oven that can easily fit a Thanksgiving turkey, and lots of cozy rooms with cute decor. The grounds include a garden and pool where the star of Basic Instinct likes to spend time. Previously, Sharon also had a house in Beverly Hills, which she never lived in, and which eventually brought her nothing but losses. In 2011, the actress tried to sell this property, acquired in 2006 for $11 million, but the deal didn't work out, and she had to reduce the price to $9 million. There is no explanation to why this happened, as well as to why Sharon herself didn't make a family nest there. Located on 5 acres of land are the owner's house, a private park with a waterfall and tall trees, and a tennis court. In 2022, one of the former homes of the actress, located in San Francisco, was put up for sale for the impressive sum of $39 million. Stone bought it in 1998 and sold it in 2005 after her divorce from Bill Bronstein. After 17 years, the price of the villa has tripled. The area is considered elite and is famous for its access to the beach and luxurious views of the Golden Gate Bridge, which attracts rich and famous people. Sharon's former residence has 7 bedrooms, and the master suite has spectacular views of the Pacific Ocean. The courtyard is also spectacularly beautiful and organic, with a beautiful outdoor pool and sitting area. One of the most interesting locations in the house is the 2-level library. The walls here are finished with expensive wood, and the many shelves and abundance of comfortable furniture will allow the future owner to spend their time in comfort. Sharon appreciates beauty and comfort, so luxury and efficiency reigns in the garage of the famous actress. Her fleet includes a Bentley Continental GTC, a luxury Maserati Quattroporte sports sedan, a Porsche Cayenne, a practical SUV Volvo XC90, as well as an Alfa Romeo GT, an Audi A5, and a 6-seat limousine from Lincoln. Today, the Hollywood diva is still beautiful and very energetic. She has admirers, but she recently announced that romantic relationships are over for her because she abandoned all hope to find her true love. The actress is constantly busy on the set. She is well off, happy, and has many friends. This strong and very smart woman was able to overcome the hardest circumstances of life and rise from the ashes like a phoenix bird. What movie featuring the inimitable Sharon Stone do you like to watch again sometimes? If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.